Oh, you wanted me to start it. Sorry. Stop it.
Welcome back to Skidmore Family Farm. We're including bloopers in this. There's the first one right off the bat. And me staring, I'm looking the wrong way as usual. We're at the Kentucky property that we were looking at. It's rural Kentucky, eastern Kentucky, near Manchester. It might even, I don't think it's in the city limits, but that's the address. And the guy that is selling it met us here. He lives in Georgia, and he hooked us up with one of his friends who's a farmer, who's lived here, I think grew up here, he said. But he was kind enough to let us use the four-wheeler, if you can see, four-wheel drive, four-wheeler, and we are back. We're like 3/4 of the way back as far as deep into the property. We're on a ridge line. There's a waterfall, small creek behind us that has like a little waterfall, and we've already passed a couple of those. If I spin around, that's still going uphill. We're on a logging trail, and like I said, we're 3/4 of the way back into the property, probably close to a mile back on the property itself. And we're just trying to get an idea of everything. The road that we're on is a logging trail, and I've been watching and paying attention. It's got gravel in areas, and so that's a plus. When we get down to the low end, we're on the mountainside right now, but there is an access from the road. It has approximately 1/4 mile of road frontage, and we are hoping to start there if we end up liking this property enough to purchase later on down the road. Sorry, I got a dry throat. It's like 85 degrees here. But we would have a location. It has about 10 acres that are cleared pasture, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. You'll see that. We're just, we accessed through the neighbor's property. We met two of the neighbors. One's down the road a little bit and across the street, and then this last neighbor that we met actually owns the property that adjoins this property. And they were very friendly. They had children. They have I think it's a 130-acre tract or something like that. The one we're looking at is 121 acres. But they also have their daughter and son-in-law are in the process of building some little cabins that they've got up here, but their goal is to move out here and be off-grid also. And they've got, like I said, a little cabin set up to where they can have a base where that they can meet, hang out, camp, and start from there to further their construction at some point. But we've drove probably a half a mile down this trail behind us. It's just a ridge line where they accessed for the timbering 40 some years ago. As you can see, there's lots of trees still. It's not been clear cut. I don't think they even clear cut it when they possibly could have. I think it was timbered about 45 years ago, so there is still some larger trees from what I've seen. So I don't think that it was completely clear cut. But we're going to adventure out, and there's another clearing on this high side that we're on before we head back and go down the mountain and go to the creek side at the lower edge on the road. It's basically the road frontage is where we'll start at if we decide to buy and build here. So and then work our way back this way at some point and build and develop more houses, cabins, rentals, something. I'm not sure quite yet what we are gonna do, but that's our plans. No matter what property we buy, is to have some flat land to farm and develop the mountainous area with some cabins, whether it be rental or for family or to sell, or develop it all and then use it as a retirement when we get older and sell it off or leave it to the kids, or who knows. That's 20, 30, 40 years from now if I make it that far. But we'll get back with you here in a second and we'll continue the video. We've got some more driving to do on the four-wheeler, and we'll find this clearing and hopefully get some video there and back down at the creek. Okay, from where we were at last, we went, what do you say, 200 feet?
You're the mathematical person.
Probably. We came from this direction and followed it in, but this is the first clearing on top of the mountain. I would say this is, you probably got about 300 feet. I can't tell what it does. We haven't went this way all the way yet, so I don't know. Looks like it turns into a hill there, and then it should curve around. And I'm thinking it looks like there's a trail on Google Earth that will take us back down the ridge and curve around and come back down. And then this hillside here goes down to the creek at the road. I mean, we're talking, I'm guessing it's 1,000 feet or more this direction that we're looking. The property overall from the road to back where we're at is about 1,600 or 1,700 feet, I believe, over a quarter of a mile. Or, I'm sorry, it's that's the width of it. The depth is over 5,000 feet, so it's over a mile deep. So we're probably looking at 3/4 of a mile in this direction to get back to the road.
Yeah, he said we had about 3,000 feet of road frontage.
Yeah.
From end to end when we were driving earlier.
Yeah, well, that's because it's curvy.
Right.
I mean, if you're just going across the property line from one edge to the other, it's
edge to edge. He said it's probably about 3,000 feet.
So we got basically close to a half a mile of road frontage or around that, maybe a little more or less. I believe those are all blackberries or raspberries, all where you see those white flowers. So that's a plus. And this clearing here would be my choice of building spots at some point. That we would have to build up by the road first to get established, but my goal would be somehow to get back here, whether it's to make our own road or gain access from the neighbors. I don't know how that would work, or like I said, we haven't seen the whole property yet, so I'm hoping there's a trail from our property that would come up here that we could bulldoze down and make it a little less steep or whatever, but we'll see once we get over there. But I think we own to the top of this hill up here another 500 or 600 feet, maybe 1,000. It's a fairly large hill. This is all trees. This clearing here and the one down by the creek are the only clearings as far as open areas. But we're going to continue down the trail. We just stopped here. I wanted to see how steep the hill was going down. And see if this was buildable here. And I would say it is. Not this hill area here, but to the back of us. We would clear these trees here out or top them down halfway, and then we would have a lookout to see towards the road, look over the valley. Basically, this is all a valley. If you see the trees over here on the far side, that's the other side of the property. We're following it's basically a cut mark where they made a logging trail on the side of the mountain and just made it flat enough with a trail, and then this area here was naturally flat, I think. I'm not for sure. But we're going to keep moving ahead and get some more video for you. Okay, we've made it back down the logging trail, and we went back onto the road and went a couple hundred feet, and then there's a red like post down this way. We're almost to the end of the one edge of the property, but there's a trail that's not very steep coming down from the road. It's a solid rock across the creek, like big piece of limestone, I'm guessing, all one piece. Probably 15 feet at the most to cross the creek, probably more like 12 feet. But I don't know if you can see just past this telephone pole. Let's see if I can zoom in. There's a marker. I don't know if that's a fence post or what, but that's the property edge. That's one end of it. And then this is the mountainside. This is where we were at the clearing. It was way up there on the mountainside. The telephone wire here runs the length of the property, the width-wise. So we have all these telephone poles that we could tap into for multiple houses, or pick our destination for our first house. When you go to this end, it's not flooded. We drove the four-wheeler through it, but it's got standing water. It would need a drainage pipe to go back into the creek. I'm not sure if you can hear the creek right now. It's over this way through these trees. But yeah, it's definitely a property we like. And we're, as rural as this seems, we are 10 minutes from the city where the hospital's at, where Ashley could work, and 40 minutes from even a bigger city. London, Kentucky is the closest big city, which it's not, I don't know the population of it, but it's got everything you need there. The other small town that we're closest to has Walmart, fast food restaurants, Mexican restaurant, a couple hotels, gas stations, all the normal stuff you would need, grocery stores. So, as secluded as this may seem, we have telephone lines right on our property, lots of access points for the telephone, and power wires. I believe city water runs down on the other side of the creek that we can tap into for $400. But yeah, we're liking it so far. A lot of it is mountainside, but to me that's hunting property for me. All this up here would be pasture. All this brush up here would be goats. For the goats, they could clear that out, make more pasture for us. Up here a little ways, there's a flat spot. I don't know if there was ever a house up there at any point in time, but that's kind of what it looks like. I'm not sure. It's kind of goes up just 10, 15 feet in elevation, and then it flattens off for a couple hundred feet. And then slowly slopes down like a driveway would be through here. I don't know if there was an old homestead or if that's just naturally that way. It may just possibly be from the runoff of the mountain. That might be where it comes down at through the valley. Not sure, but definitely lots of potential at a decent price with lots of, we wouldn't even have to go off grid right away. We would have the city utilities, electricity, water, all that good stuff. So, and it's on a paved road, no gravel roads. It's paved all the way back into town, 5 miles, 6 miles away approximately. But yeah, we picked a perfect day, and there's obviously good people. We've never met them before, and they let us use their four-wheeler, the neighbors. And he said he had a bulldozer to clear the road out to get down to the creek to help us out if we decide to buy it or whatever. So, I mean, we definitely hooked the guy up, though. I mean, not for free, but we plan on getting a tractor, and I've looked into some old bulldozers too, some smaller ones that we could use for maintenance and small clearing, stuff like this around here, leveling stuff out, but nothing major. Just to keep our roads and stuff built up and to help develop it. But that about wraps it up. Anything you want to say, baby? No. She's like, come on, hurry up, get me out of here.
I'm thirsty.
She's hot, thirsty. There's creepy crawlers. All right. Thanks again for watching Skidmore Family Farm. You may see our future house here. Continue watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Skidmore Family Farm. Hit the thumbs up to like our videos and hit the notification bell to receive all our latest videos. Thanks and have a great day.